ሳሙኤልን ወደፊት እናስጠጋዋለን ያለው ሁኔታ ይሄን ይመስላል
ፋሲል ከነማ በአምበሉ ያሬድ ባዬ የተመራ ይገባል የተከላካይ ስፍራውን በማጠናከር በማጥቃት እንቅስቃሴ ወሳኝ ሚና ካላቸው ተጫዋቾች ማለት አንዱ ነው
አው በዛሬ ጨዋታ ላይ ፋሲል ከነማ ይበልጥ በማጥቃቱ ረገድ የሚሳተፉ በርካታ ተጫዋቾችን ያሰልፋል ተብሎ ይጠበቅ ነበር ነገር ግን ሁለት የተከላካይ አማካይ ሚና ያላቸው ተጫዋቾችን ሀብታሙ ተከስተ ይሁን እንዳሻውን አስገብተዋል አሰልጣኙና ምናልባት በጅማ አባጂፋር በኩል በመልሶ ማጥቃት በፈጣን ሽግግር የሚደረጉ እንቅስቃሴዎችን ለማስቀረት ያሰቡ ይመስላል ከዛ አንፃር ደግሞ የተከላካይ መስመር ተጫዋቹ ያሬድ ባዬ በጣም ቁልፍ ነው ብሎ ማሰብ ይቻላል ቡርኑ ለመከላከል ብቻ ሳይሆን ከተከላካይ ጀምሮ ኳስን መስርቶ ወደ ተቃራኒ ግብ ክልል ለመድረስ በጣም ልምድ ያለው ያሬድ ባዬ በዚህ ጨዋታ ላይ ተጽዕኖ ይኖራል ተብሎ ይጠበቃል
የ2010 የኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ አሸናፊዎቹ ጅማ አባጂፋር ከ2011 የኢትዮጵያ ጥሎ ማለፍ አሸናፊዎቹ ፋሲል ከነማ ጋር በሶስተኛው ሳምንት ወሳኝ ጨዋታቸውን ያደርጋሉ ጊልበርትና በርናንድ በእንግሊዝኛው በአማርኛው ደግሞ መኮንን ኃይሉና ሶፎኒያስ እኒው ጨዋታውን በቀጥታ ያስመለክቷቸዋል ረፋዳችሁን ከሱፐር ስፖርት ጋር እንድታደርጉ በአክብሮት እንጋብዛችኋለን መልካም ቆይታ
Segnalo Said from the capital of the country with the fourth largest biodiversity zone in Africa with over 860 species of birds. Welcome to the Bet King Ethiopian Premier League. It's game Jima Abajifar will be playing for Fasil Kenema. They're trying to look for the points in this one. And in very interesting of weather as well, 22 degrees Celsius is the maximum temperature that we've got. 9 degrees Celsius is what it goes down to, making it very difficult to, be able to control yourself sometimes if you're from the tropics because of the cold itself. But it's never stopped football from being played. So, Fasil Kenema will be looking for points here today. They won one game against St. George and lost another one against Ethiopia Coffee. So they've got 3 points from that one win. They're playing a team that has got only 1 point, which is making it a little bit of a cut fight here. The Jima Abajifar side have just 1 point from 1 draw, 0-0 with Walkite, having lost to Adama by 4 goals to 1. But those are statistics. It's how it pans out on the field of play that determines whether or not they are going to get everything out of this one. Now we're going to be looking at a Fasil Kenema side that also has picked up very many yellow cards in the match they played in the beginning. Although it doesn't stop their fans from coming to support them as well. But you'll also see a Jima Abajifar team that had initially goalkeeping problems that forced our favorite man, Idalamin Nasser, to be put in as the goalkeeper. And he's on the bench. We were wishing that he would just be given even 2 minutes to play, but that's our wish. It's not the coach's wish. We'll see if that will happen. But it's going to be a big fight to try and get points further in this one. The table has already changed quite recently. Jima Abajifar at the moment is 11th in that log, while the Fasil Kenema side is 8th on that log. So, Jacob Penza, the Congolese man, is in goal today, so that will spare Idalamin the blushes. He will stay on the bench. He's in just the 25 on the substitutes bench. And Coach Paulos Getashu knows very well that they've got to pick the points from this one. They're going to use Buzayehu Endesho up at the front with Sadiq Secho. They're playing a 4-4-2. That's very traditional. Really just building it from behind and hoping to go further forward in their game. The center referee today is a military officer. He is also a management degree holder. And he will be assisted by an electrician and another civil servant in the technical bench as the officials. Fasil City will be relying on the prowess of the men who have scored goals for them, most notably Mujib Kasim, who is going to be up in strike force for the Fasil City side. That's how they're going to be lining up, so you can see how much they'll be using Mujib up there. An interesting formation that will be interpreted for us as we go into the game. And now, this coach Paulos Getasho had issues before with goalkeeping. He's found the solution with Jaco Penza in it, and he's going against the coach on the other side, Tiom Kebede, who really doesn't have issues at all with his team, just wants them to be able to win and to get the points. They took a very big win against St. George in the very first match that they played. And remember, he also comes from the home of the Ethiopian legend Mengistu Worku. That makes them a very special team as well. So any moment now, Jacob Penze is invoking the name of the divine. On the other side, the other goalkeeper, Samake Mikel, is also doing the same on the opposite side. So you can imagine how difficult it is then to both sides to have to invoke the divine intervention in this game. But yes, it's going to be done. We're going into the game now. It's Jima Abajifa versus Fasil Kenema in another round of the resumed Ethiopian Bet King Premier League. That this time round is having only 13 teams and not the 16 teams that are usually in the league. Mr. Ephraim Debele is center referee and starts this one for us. For the next 90 minutes, we will be watching to see who picks up the 3 points out of this one, or whether they share the prowess here. And remember, the technical prowess of each team is one thing to watch out for, because that's so typical of the Ethiopian game as well. The early stages will be spent, of course, trying to size each other up before they finally settle into it. So we'll take you through the 90 minutes of it. I'm Bernardo Tieno. I'm in the company of Gilbert Celebwa. On the other side, you can listen to the Amharic commentary as well. Sophonias Enyeo and Mekonnen Hailu will be your men there. Starting from the beginning, Gilbert, with the formations, a very interesting one that will be employed by Fasil Kenema side.
You're right, Bernard. Jacob Penze asked me to say Sango Nini. I don't know what exactly he meant. He just asked me to tell you Sango Nini. The goalkeeper
just
on
tell
the
him Sango Malamu. He's just asking you how it is. But we're talking about Fasil.
So Fasil have 5 players in the midfield today.
5, okay.
As compared to Jima, who have 4 players, meaning that the 2 offensive players will always tuck in whenever they lose possession of the ball. So we expect a 5 against 4 in the midfield.
So that's why they put it as a 4-1, and then there was a couple others before Mujib Kasim up at the front. It just means the others will probably be joining in when they have the attack. We'll see if it pans out like that as well. What about the Jima Abajifa?
Jima Abajifa are playing a 1-4-4-2, meaning that they have typical offensive players, one on the left, Surafol Awol, and then the other one on the right, Bezayehu Endasho. So we expect that a lot of football is going to be played on the outside for Jima Abajifa.
The captain of the Fasil Kenema side is Jared Bai, one of the players you have to watch out for as well. Very instrumental, and his leadership qualities on the field as well have been showing in the games they played. Like I told you, they picked up a very big win against St. George, which was the only time St. George have lost so far as well. And so they've got the bragging rights. Although they were beaten by Ethiopia Buna 3 goals to 1, they still have their tails up compared to the Jima Abajifa side, who lost 1-4 to Adama and then drew 0-0 with Walkite. It's going to be a lot of those tackles that we'll be seeing in the midfield. Yehun Endasho. Now, I think it's Surafel Awol who's brought down, and Mr. Ephraim Debele is cutting out any dissent very early enough. That was Abtamu Tekeste. Yeah, that's a foul on that man, Surafel Awol, and a yellow card has already gone out. So the other thing you have to find out about the Fasil Kenema side is their knack for picking up yellow cards. They picked so many against St. George. Actually, Samake Michael picked up a yellow card. Shimeke Gugsa also did pick up a yellow card, and I think Surafel Donachi also. So they really have to control themselves in today's game. It's going to be a game of wits as well. They already know, they've watched how the others are playing, so the coaches have been training, knowing exactly what's going on.
You're right, Bernard. There's been a lot of criticism, especially in officiating, and that yellow card in the 2nd minute of the game to have Tabu Tekese just shows you exactly what that official, the center referee, is up to this morning.
He wants to cut them out early.
Yeah.
Very early. We've seen other matches where it was cut out much later, and it didn't augur very well. So it's going to be a free kick. Back into the midfield. Then Endasho decides to change the wing onto the left side. Johannes then takes it right up to the center. The assistant says there was offside. Gonna have to confirm that as well. But Mustafa Meki says there was an offside there. No offside. No. Just on the line. The assistant can get away with that. I mean, the VAR would probably have said his finger is on the other side of the line once the telestrator draws the line. But with naked eyes, it becomes very difficult to design that one and say, categorically that there was a problem there. So I don't know what the referee tells the assistant there. I think it tells him, he's like telling him something very categorically on what he thinks should be happening in the game. We'll see whether he's controlling everything that is going on as Jaco Penze will come to take the free kick, should be, for that offside. The Congolese goalkeeper joined the Abajifaar team almost at the last moment when they were having issues with goalkeeping, and I still insist, Gilbert, my favorite man in the Abajifaar team is Idalamin Nasser, who became the goalkeeper and saved 2 shots. Although he soaked in 4 goals in that match, he did well to even agree to be the goalkeeper.
Well, he took one for the team. I mean, at that particular point, they only had 1 goalkeeper, and after that red card,
8th minute, the goalkeeper was red carded, and Idalamin stepped up to it.
Yeah, he really played his role out, and I can see you advocating for at least 2 minutes of his playing time.
I think he should be training as a goalkeeper. You know why? He played as a goalkeeper in the first match. He has not played another match since then. He is even on the bench today.
And also as a goalkeeper, because I don't see any goalkeeper on the
substitutes bench.
On the substitutes bench.
This is going to be a corner. And it is for the Fasil Kedema side. They're pressing from the right side, and they really push the defenses here. Just that they are go-to man, Mujib Kasim, is staying a little bit off the line and running the risk of being caught in the offside. Left foot in swinger, it is going to be Enyeu Kasahun who's going to be taking it. They're marking the man who they think is very dangerous, Yared Bai, but a low one that has been taken. It's not going to trouble them. They've gotten it up front to Bezayeu Endesho. That's about they're trying to get to point out at the front for a quick break. I don't know if it's just the defensive formation, Gilbert, but there are so many red shirts in that half. Just too many forming the line.
9.
Here they are.
Yes, 9 of them are behind the ball. Just shows you the interest that is in that game this morning.
And they try to go into the attack. And I think the other way as well is that they pull them out of their central, out of their midfield areas when they play the ball back to their own side. It's going to be started by Yared Bai. Same tact here as well, just knocking the ball around and trying to pull out the other players from their line, and then getting the moves in there, trying to go onto the right side, a crosser, but dealt with by Sirafel Awol. And again, Fasil will pick it at the edge of the box. They're using that big winger on the right side, but he's not lifting the ball high enough to come into the box. It's not going to get to Mujib in that way. Surafel feels they should do much better than that from where he was. That's an optimistic shot. It really was not going to get anything, Gilbert.
It wasn't. But again, you've said that from the onset they are trying to use the right-hand side where they have the big man, Shemikit Goksa, an international, 25 years with 3 caps to his credit for the national team.
And he needs to do better then. When you've got credit and you've got big titles onto your side, you must make big decisions as well and do big things. The moment the biggest he's done is push his way through that wing. Now he needs to lift the crosses as well to come in nicely into the box. This will come all the way back to the defenders, and Amsalo Telahun will play it onto the right. There's always that deceptive slow pace when they're starting, Gilbert, and it's deception because it bursts into speed so suddenly and so unexpectedly.
I think they're trying to read each other's intentions in the first few minutes of the game. And Bernard, when you're playing some this kind of football, but in a slow pace, it gives your opponents time to be able to recover and reorganize themselves.
Yep, they're not afraid of that reorganization. They actually bring the ball to that reorganization. This is what we're talking about. It bursts suddenly out on the flanks and sometimes in the middle. And even that pace that was slow becomes a very deceptive one as it comes to the center. And nicely controlled, looking for a chance to go for a shot. A quick clearance by Wupshet. Alema Yehu. It's not yet gone out. The shot was coming off Yuhun Endashaw. Has been deflected out for a corner. What do you think the coach is annoyed about? What's he saying?
Well, he wants tight marking, especially when there is an opportunity to bring that cross.
Okay. So, but he's using too many, gestures to say it, I thought he was admonishing them. In a way, it translates into an admonishing. Long ball onto the side, the header! Just over the bar. That's one of the men you're watching out for. His physique just tells you that he packs some power, even if he was to play a shot towards goal. And really should have done better in that. Should have brought it, right to the center on this side and expect somebody else to go for it.
Or downward projection.
That's Mujib Kasim.
Yes.
He's scored 1 goal so far. And he's still being looked at as the man who will probably salvage the first round of the matches for the Fasil Kenema side. I hasten to remind you again that they're playing 5 rounds in one venue, and we're already going to the 3rd round, and then they will take a little break and move the game to another town for another 5 rounds played in one venue. It saves you logistical nightmares of having to move from one place to the other, and then also it keeps you in a bubble. With the COVID protocols being observed, the resumption has really got to be watched intently. It's going to be a foul here. Correctly pointed out by the assistant referee and the referee. It's that little knock behind you that takes the balance, the rhythm off you before by the defenders. And that's what the captain has done here. Just, blocks his way and sends Bezayehu Endesho onto the floor. It's a professional foul. You might not think there's anything there, but that's everything because the striker can't move forward.
Yeah, and the foul actually in a nice place, right in the middle, instead of allowing him to get closer to his goal.
The referee says, calm it down. I've got you under surveillance. Thank God you're not taking me through the yards in this one, Gilbert. I thought you were going to measure it in yards, but maybe you should have, because that ball doesn't go too far away from where it was taken. A horribly taken free kick by the defender of the Abajifa side. You don't waste those opportunities in a game in the Ethiopian Premier League. You've got to take advantage of them quickly enough.
So I should have said 60 meters.
Oh, yeah, that would have been nice. But I know you'd have preferred to go for yards. I was taking lessons yesterday about yards and meters, and a good friend of mine told me that
1 yard is 1.5 meters.
Yeah, I was going to put it in a better way. A yard is 1.5 meters, Gilbert. And plus, I was going to put it in the words of my friend here. But I'll save that for now as the ball comes out to the right side. There are 2 men going for it here. The pass doesn't help it out. There was Samuel Yohanes waiting for it. There was Mujib Kasim waiting for it. The delivery was a poor one, Gilbert. That's the first time we are seeing a fast break like that one. Mujib Kasim had the first touch on it. It's onside. He just needed to bring it on to the right.
There are two players coming in. That is number 12, Samuel Yohanes, and surely
the coach is not happy. Like, what are you doing?
He's leaving.
He's wondering what the guy is doing. Gomat Mele here. The ball has stayed in play. Header again by Mujib, but picked up by Jaco Penze. Now you know Jima Abajifa are not suffering from goalkeeping problems. You're going to look for something better to be able to get the better of them. You're going to play on the ground from a knock to which they didn't get the advantage. I think the referee will look at him and probably stop play. Or if Abajifa decide to send it out, and they do, then we can get attention on the player. Yeah, that happens a lot in the game of football as well. Looked like it was something that wasn't expected in that turn, and he got a little bit of a discomfort. Abtamu Takeste, seems like something went into his diaphragm. That's what he's complaining about. That didn't look intentional, but with an elbow going into it, sometimes an elbow can act as a sharp-pointed tool, Gilbert. If it goes into your abdomen or even into the rib cage, it can cause damage.
That's correct. That's correct, Bernard.
Must be feeling the pinch here. Gilbert, that reaction, was it to the pain of the player or to the lovely game that we're seeing at the other side of the stadium?
The game is beautiful.
I know, I can see.
The game is beautiful.
I can see, yeah. And it's painful as well.
And it's painful.
As Abtamu walks off the field of play. I see your drift, Gilbert. Well, I tell you, the coaches will be watching this one and also seeing the beauty of the game and seeing the pain of it. If they're winning, it will be the beauty. If they're losing, it will be the pain of it. We're playing only the 15th minute of the game. Quick clearance by Yared Baye. Sends the ball back into the center. And still trying to work out that wing play. Sadiq Secho can't go for that one. It's too big a ball. Because off the field of play, it's going to be a throw-in. And it's going to be for Fasil Kenema.
It's interesting, Bernard, that in the last 14 minutes, Samake Michael has not touched the ball at all.
No, he hasn't. No. You
Apart from the warm-ups.
You said you wanted his players to involve him as well. I think Samake Mikel is very happy the way he is at the moment. And especially if the attacks come from his strikers. Johannes being one of them, I think Samake gets very happy. Looking for support from behind here. Some good dribbling that has been cut off. It was Amsalu Telahun. And with Surafel Awal being the guilty man here, it's going to be given as a free kick to the Fasil Kenema side. Some good footwork as well.
Yeah, from Masalu, he's actually joining into the attack. He's playing as a left back, but in position where we call him a wing back, joining into the attack.
Yeah, that tackle again, you worry about it, although Amsalu got himself out of that. If there's one thing that has worried me a lot in the BetKing Ethiopian Premier League, it has been the tackles, especially the tackles that come from behind and onto their ankles as well. But glad to see that they are now being penalized with what they deserve, and the players know now. They really do protect the strikers as well because of the technical game they play. And we've seen the highest number of penalties in opening rounds of matches that we see in any league here in the Ethiopian Premier League. There's going to be a free kick. There's two men here. There's Muluken Tariku, who looks like he's going to lob it in as everybody converges, puts too much pressure on it. And even his captain can't get to it. By chases it out of the field of play. It's going to be a goal kick. It's going to be for the Jima Abajifar side. Just about 60% ball possession by Jima Abajifar in the last 5 minutes, so they've taken it away from Fasil Kenema. In the 16 minutes played, Fasil actually is running the whole bit of it at 74, which is actually a true reflection, Gilbert.
Yes, actually, in Jima's own half, because Jima are playing more in their own half than in the opponent's half.
Well, it's a long goal on the left side now. Flag is up. From the second assistant, Mustafa Meki. And they're going to have to watch their runs and time them correctly. Samuel Johannes is the one who has been spotted in the offside position. And playing a more relaxed game, these two teams, Gilbert, compared to what we've seen coming from Ethiopia Coffee and also from St. George. The fast-paced passing game is not very evident here. And this game would probably be in between the physicality we saw of Adama and a little bit of a technicality as well, but not to the higher degree.
You're right, Bernard, and both teams seem not to be playing a lot of football in the midfield. They are trying to use their outside lanes to be able at least to outdo each other.
Oh, the defender's playing a very high line as well now as Shimekit Guksa will try to run for this one. He gets a throw in the process. He's got Yehun Endasho to help him out there. Back to Surafel and brings it to the center. So again, trying to get the strikers to run diagonally from the left side, and almost got that to Samuel Yohannes, but again, even the attempt to pick it up by Amsalu doesn't work so well. It goes off the field of play. It's going to be a throw-in. But that left foot of Amsalu is making the coach talk a lot, Gilbert.
He's not using it. He's not using it to his expectations. And that's why the coach is a little bit more livid.
He's going to go out to the right side. And going to be a throw-in by Surafel. Surafel Awal was trying to get onto it. It was taken by Yehun Endasho. They've got to weave it from the midfield if they're going to have it work well. And then you're playing against a team that quickly falls back into defensive formation, putting all the four in defense, and then the other four that are supposed to be in the middle also join in that defense. So it becomes very difficult to get them out there. Coach says, don't worry about it, you did a good job. That's Paulos Getachew telling his men, look, work it harder, work it harder. Then it goes out for a throw-in. Tells him to work it quickly as well. Paolo's very, very animated with his side. It's going to be a throw-in now for the Jima Abajifa. They're believing in themselves steadily as they continue to play the game, Gilbert. And you see they are bringing the attacks mostly from the left side. They haven't done much on the right side. Fasil has done 57% on the right side. And Jima really haven't had any attacks coming from any side.
They have not had any attacks. They're sitting closer to their defensive line, and that's the reason why you've seen Fasil trying to play the diagonal passes, especially where the fullbacks are coming from, to try and at least beat that tightly knit defense line.
Well, they're playing it back into defense, trying to build it from behind. I tell you, they've made it so easy for the referee in this game as well. Never mind the fact that the referee is probably one of the best we've seen so far. They've just played it in their defenses and then tried to get the players on the wing to run. Again, bringing it to Amsalu Telahun, the wing-back who's always roving up at the front and has been in the attack more than the forwards themselves. Johannes now, and playing it back to Yared by the captain.
Jima is just comfortable sitting at the back, Bernard. They have everyone behind the ball.
Now that's the danger. They are inviting the attacks to come from the Fasil Kenema side. And then Fasil is using the opportunity to just also dilly-dally with the ball a bit and just enjoy themselves until they have a chance now to probably pace it up front. Well, he's controlled it, and the referee says there was offside. The flag was up on the other side. Mujib will have to time his runs. That's about the second or the third time he has been caught offside. Let's see it again. That's Mujib on the left of your picture, tucked in between three defenders. Yeah, he's offside. He's offside.
Yeah.
Even with a VAR, that would be offside. Very well caught by Mustafa Meki. He's got to do something about his runs. He's got to time them correctly.
Yeah, the problem is that the defense is sitting so deep, such that any ball that is coming in, a long pass, it will definitely fall between the defenders and the goalkeeper. And therefore, any time that he's in possession, there's a defender there or a goalkeeper.
So what does he need to do, Gilbert? You're the coach.
Play the decoy.
Play the decoy.
Pretend as if you're running towards the ball and then make that decoy run.
Okay.
Yeah.
And those who are providing know that if he's playing the decoy, they don't release the ball immediately because it will go to the wrong place.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. We'll tell them that at halftime. That's usually the right time to tell them that, because that's where the pep talk happens in the game of football. 23 minutes that we are playing. 0-0 in the resumed Bet King Ethiopian Premier League, with Jima Abajifa playing Fasil Kenema. And both of them playing their round 3 matches. Johannes crosses it. There are 3 defenders every time, like Gilbert has already said, so it's making it difficult for Mujib. But he needs to just have another striker playing with him. I mean, there has to be somebody running behind him. He's all alone in there. There are 4 men that would get to him at any time if the ball was going in that direction. And he still would have to lift the ball from the left going to him, which allows enough time for everybody to get to him.
The other option,
they have to change the strategy.
Yeah, the other strategy would be the number 10 Surafel and number 8 Jehun as the attacking midfielders. Once he comes out as a decoy, they run into those spaces. They won't be caught offside.
Let's see if that happens then, because Surafel is trying to join the attack, and must remind you there are 2 Surafels on the team on either side, so we will be very specific with which Surafel we are talking about. The one to support Mujib is Surafel Danachu, and the other one in the midfield is Surafel Awol from Jima Abajifar. It's going to be a corner now for Fasil Kenema. Yeah, when you see the captain getting in there
then you know they want to angle down for the header. And the captain actually did get it, but just didn't nod it down on time. But Jared Bae is lending his services when they have those kinds of corners, Gilbert. Slightly lower, and we would have been talking about a different thing altogether.
Well, Bernard, that's the reason why he has 9 caps for the national team with 1 goal. And at 25 years old, that is the most potent defender that is playing this morning for Fasil Kenema.
Second time or third time we've actually seen him going to join the attack when they were having a corner. Just tells you that he believes himself, especially in the air. Now there's more white jerseys going out for the ball here. Shimekit Guksa brings it to the center. Yeah, that's a foul right in front of the referee. And he saw it, so there's nothing about complaining. And Mr. Ephraim Debele is standing his ground. You don't move back when you're a referee. You stand right there and say what you have to say.
Correct.
A couple of times we see referees backpedaling, you know, and trying to explain. I think Mr. Debele is not taking anything from the players and has given the free kick in a very prime position, just at the edge of the box. And he had a good dummy, Yihun Endasho, and he dummied the defenders into committing a foul as well on him.
Yeah, very good dummy.
So tell me, how many yards do you think it is from the box? I make it about 1.5 meters. So with the yards, what would that be? We got to do the mathematics again. If not, we go with my count, Gilbert.
Okay, let's go with your
Let's
count.
just say, 1.5 meters. 1 meter, 1.5 from the box. A yard is 1.5 meters, isn't it? So it's 1 yard.
But from the goalkeeper?
No. I'm saying from the box.
Okay, from the box.
Yes. We haven't done the distance between him and the goalkeeper. That will be different. We'll probably calculate that in yards. Jaco Penze is calculating, doing a different calculation. He's trying to cover the area in which he thinks the ball could permeate through. And then he's going to stay where he can have a sight on the ball as the Fasil Kenema side will be organizing how to take it. Surafel Danachu is there. And I see Salu Telahun, his left foot very conspicuous in there. I think Surafel is the man who's going to be taking it. He's taking a good distance behind to get to that ball. Yep, he's the one who lifts it. Doesn't trouble Jaco Penze at all. But Surafel Danachu knows that he did the calculation correct. Just minus a couple of other inches, he would go down. The power was quite correct. Jaco Penze has seen it. And, he's just watching it roll past. But that's good tact as well. The application was good.
Yes, the application was good. It just misses the cross by a whisker. That is why Surafel Danachu, international player of the year with 21 goals and only 23 years old with 1 cap for the national team.
So Fasil have had 5 goal attempts and 1 on target. The Abajifa side is yet to try and test the goalkeeper Mikel Samaki, who's having a holiday on this other side. They haven't gotten anywhere close to that box. They haven't sent any shot towards him. They have 0 goal attempts. Now that's not too good a statistic in 27 minutes of play, and when there's good footwork as well coming into the game, then you begin to enjoy how it is being played by the others. This one to Mujima! He hit it right into the goalkeeper. Should have given a little bit of a hard header into it. But Mujib comes close to putting it past Jaco Penze. And I don't know why he decided to place it and not with that much power. He could have just had a little more power on it. It's very well placed for him. He's onside. It needed power. Penze pushes it with one hand as Samuel Yohannes tries to bring it back as well. That's a lost opportunity, Gilbert.
The projection, you should have pushed it downwards. And that's why the reason why you don't need Delamin Nasir. He's going to stay on the bench as far as Penzo continues pulling this kind of saves, Bernard.
Yeah, it's going to happen, and they're going to feel a little bit aggrieved every time. They should have put that into the net. We are already trying to look at how many goals have been scored in one club, and you know that Pele's record was broken by Lionel Messi, 644 goals at one club. So, you have to think about scoring the goals in this game. As the Abajifa players will take a swig of water, they have left their player Bezayehu Endasho injured here. That was not good. Coming from Amsalu Telahun. Just a hand that goes into the neck. Earlier on, Mujib got a chance to change the scoreline here. And should have had a hard header. There was so much space on the left side. Should have chosen the space well enough, but I think he was keeping his eye on the ball instead, Gilbert.
Yeah, a lot is expected from Mujib Kasim. In 2018-2019 season, he was the top scorer with 23 goals. And he's actually a player who was used to playing as a defender and now transformed into a striker. Has 3 caps for the national team. A lot is expected from him this morning.
The referee will bounce the ball for a restart for Jima AbajiFar, who will give it back in a sportsmanship gesture to the Fasil side. And you could see the bounce in Mikel Samake's running. The first time that he's getting the ball in 29 minutes of play in this game. He had to make himself, you know, at least appear on television as well. Otherwise, they're leaving him out of that. The defenders are making sure there's no ball going on that side. And, you know, the strikers are making sure they are striking on that side. So, Mikel Samake is not on television.
He was happy.
No, yeah, to get onto that ball.
Yeah.
Yes, he was happy to be on television, at least for about 10 seconds he was. Do you think he can complain of not having been on television if we don't see much of him?
Well, especially if there are agents out here on TV trying to watch him.
I don't think agents just go for the physical appearance. They want to see how much you're doing on the field as well. If I was Mikel Samake, I'd just be happy to keep a clean sheet. That's all, because that counts as well. It's going to be a throw-in. Tilahun takes it very quickly. Amsalu Tilahun gets it back. Plays it out to a very free man, Rafael Danacho, who changes the wing onto the right side. They love to play where they can be able to string the passes. Now this is a big one. Mujib goes down too easily. You don't just go down for the sake of going down. I mean, you've got to have possession and you must wait until something happens to you. But you don't just go down like that.
The delivery was very good. I mean, if he had stayed on his feet, he would have gotten onto that ball.
Well, yeah, he's lucky.
Would have gotten a card.
No, that's simulation. And for no reason, he didn't even have possession. So what's the point of even blowing the whistle? Absolutely no point. The referee does the right thing then. Let's play to continue. Amsalo Tilahun. Is it in the middle to Surafel Danacho? Back to Yihun Endacho. Amsalo again. They got a man on the right side, and my hunch tells me they were trying to get the ball to him. Amsalo then losing it. Oh, he picks it back again. Works hard to pick up possession. Some stylish play that was being employed by Buzaye Huendesho doesn't quite work out. Yes, I know you're worrying. Yes, there are many Endashos. I mean, that's just a common name as well. And each side has their fair share of Endasho. Into the middle, but the advantage play is given as Yihun Endasho went down. Here is a shot and a good one coming from the captain of the side, Jared Bai. The second shot is not as good as the first shot, but the very big shot that came from the captain, Jared Bai. I mean, almost made my co-commentator here scream in ecstasy here, Gilbert. What was so good about it that made you make so much noise of it?
Blockbuster. The technique was there, and coming from a defender, Jared Bai, he has realized that it's becoming very difficult for them to at least break that defense line, and therefore he wants to take those shots from a distance.
I think it's a good tact. I mean, I think they should be shooting from outside. Now, they're taking a little bit too long. Like you said, they give the chance to the defenders to organize themselves time and again.
Yes.
And maybe if they played from outside, it might just rattle them a bit. The coach has been issuing instructions. This one, nothing doing. No, he goes down too easily. It's a contact game here. He needs to have pushed his way to try and go into that ball. He didn't have possession. And so he will not get anything for that. This is Mikel Samake. Finally, we get to see him on the ball. Second time we've seen him on the ball, Gilbert.
Second time, but really nothing much going on that side. He's on holiday.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself. Oh, another one here that is picked up by Shimegit Guksa. Walks it out to the right side. Here is a chip into the box, headed out. And they'll have it again for a chip back into the box. A big clearance comes in then. I'm still maintaining, Gilbert. Just the fact that the ball is in the box doesn't mean there's danger, according to the Ethiopian play.
Yeah, they always want, instead of taking a shot sometimes, they want to play the ball wide and try to find those small, intricate passes in towards the goal. But it hasn't worked so far this morning.
Now, I'll tell you one thing. Mujib Kasim is under very tight mark. And I'll tell you the other thing that is happening to him. And I think Mujib Kasim is getting a little bit frustrated. The defenders are making sure he's not on his feet at all. They're making Jaco Penze be okay. Look at how Mujib is being, pulled back, being pushed back, and even when he gets to the ball, he's in the offside position because he's getting frustrated, and they know every touch on him is frustrating him very quickly.
You're right. That's a target man. I think is finding it very difficult because of the kind of passes that he's getting. He needs to break away from the two central defenders and find some space in the midfield. Maybe that one would be
or maybe change the wing and get somebody else to play as the out-and-out striker. Good ball now in the middle to Shimekit Gupsa. That will be a yellow card. That will be a foul for sure. It's going to be a free kick because that's a very deliberate tackle. It's taking one for the team. I think they expected a red card to come out of here. Why? It's a yellow card, but it's a professional foul. If he had left Shimekit Gupsa to go through, then we would have seen something else altogether. So Enyeu Kasahun, it just fouls him in the process.
That's a very good pass. Very good pass. Good tackle from a distance. Very good pass from the midfield to Shemikhet Gutsa. About 25 yards from the goalkeeper.
Yep, this one is Wandimagan Marshall, beg your pardon, is the one who gets the yellow card. You know, that's a deliberate, very deliberate foul there. It's a professional foul. He just goes for the foot.
He knew that Shemiket was already on the run and closer to the goalkeeper. What a way to stop him from moving forward.
And I think I know why. The coach is not very happy. He's wondering why they're leaving all those spaces. But I also think that he gets a yellow card because he actually has a touch on the ball. If he hadn't touched the ball, then there would be a reason to complain about something else. So Wandimagan Marshall is yellow carded. And rightfully so by the center referee from Debele. It's going to be a free kick. And it's going to be for Fasil Kenema. The coach is worrying now about the defense line and how it is operating. And the defense line is also worrying about how they are operating at the moment. 36 minutes of play gone by. We're in the 37th. The scoreline is 0-0 from the Bet King Ethiopian Premier League. We are playing the round of matches here. You know, you could call it round 3 because they're playing the third matches. You could call it round 1 because it's the third week of round 1. And they're going to do another 5 rounds in one venue. Tilaun has put it in the net! The left foot of Amsalu Tilaun shows why it is a dangerous left foot. And Amsalu Tilaun takes the free kick, sends it away from Jaco Penze, who goes with his hands outstretched but doesn't reach it. The excitement will be for the Fasil Kenema side. What a shot by Amsalu Tilaun. Rounds the wall and then into the net. You may think that the goalkeeper could have gotten to it as well, but for the fans, they don't think the goalkeeper could have gotten to it. It just veers off from this tackle, Gilbert.
From that tackle on Shimiget Gusksa, Masalu Telahun with a well executed, it was well executed, way above the goalkeeper, over the defensive line, and there was no way Jaco Penso was going to get that one. That's a wonderful goal, Bernard. Wonderful goal.
Wonderful strike by Amsalu Telahun. The scoreline has changed from the Addis Ababa Stadium. In the 38th minute, Chima Abajifa 0 and Fasil City 1. What a shot with Jaco Penze going in the correct direction but not getting to that ball. Now they're going to be using that side a lot of times as well. And I thought Tilaun would get himself in trouble for over-celebrating, going all the way to the bench because of that COVID protocol. We saw one player who was given a second yellow card and then had to be sent off the field of play after he had just scored the goal. Or maybe he didn't just do too much of it, but there's going to be at least some conformity in what is going on. But that's 1-0, Gilbert. It will change the way this game is going to be played. Fasil will go into it now with their tails up. And for Jima Abajifar, the test of character now comes. They haven't had any attempt at goal on this side.
It will open up this game now. It will open up because for the last 39 minutes, Jima Abajifar have not made one single attack, meaning now they have to get out of their cocoon and push more people forward.
That's the scorer of the game, Tilahun. And a dummy here that gets the ball back to Tilahun. Is cut off by Wadimag and Marshall. It's going to be a goal kick here. I think the last touch came off a Fasil Kenema player. Oh, this man's left foot suddenly, you know, just gets the ball over the bar, over the players, over the wall and into the net. With Jaco Penze unable to get to it. Yep, so maybe now we'll see a difference in the way it's being played. 29% of it has been played in the Jima Abajifar side, and they have only had 21% taking it to the Fasil Kenema side. But you know, maybe those were the instructions, because they probably were told to soak in the pressure first in the first half and then come out in the second half. It's just that it doesn't work out because they already have conceded a goal as well. And I don't know they factor in, whether coaches factor in that risk when you tell the team soak in the pressure in the first half.
When you soak in the pressure, the tactic is that you must hit on the break or the counters.
Yeah.
But they've not done it.
Now you soak in the pressure and then
hit on the counter.
And then but you have no counter, so you soak in the pressure and more pressure comes in and you crumble under the pressure.
Now tactics have to change.
That's the part they should have been preparing for. What happens if you crumble under the pressure?
Yeah.
Because for Fasil as well, they've piled on the pressure. Good ball. The flag has stayed down. The goalkeeper is injured. This is going to be a goal. It will count. It's in the net from Mujiba. It doesn't matter that the goalkeeper is down, having been injured in a previous move. This will count. Mujib's goal will stand, even as Jaco Penze came off his line. The flag was down. And so Mujib will have scored the second goal here from a tackle, which is normal and not illegal in there. Jaco Penze goes down. The ball is brought back to Mujib with one defender on line and another defender on the side stands, not very happy about what's going on. Mujib puts the ball in the net for the second goal for Fasil Kenema. Here it is again. The defense again playing a very high line. There's no offside at all there, and the chase is with Shibegit Guksa. Beats the goalkeeper. Jaco Penze actually helps this ball to go into the path of Mujib. He retracted his foot, doesn't touch him that much, Gilbert. He retracts the foot, and so you can't say there was a foul there. There it is again. Has he really touched him?
He didn't.
He did not touch him.
That's a simulation by the goalkeeper.
So Mujib
that's a goal, it stands.
has scored another goal for the Fasil Kenema side. 2-0 will be the scoreline. And Abajifar will have to question themselves about how they're playing. First of all, if they lose Jaco Penze, then they will be in trouble. And Idalami Nasser might have to be called into play again here. Although he's on the bench.
That's why they left him on the bench.
It's unfair to be left on the bench to come in just in case they need a goalkeeper, while Idalami himself is a defender. Now, here is one fan who's not very happy.
She's not happy.
No, she's not. She's going to chew her lip. If they don't do better, she'll have no lips left by the end of 90 minutes.
I'm telling you.
I'm worried about that. And I don't know who she's talking to and giving instructions here. But she probably is saying that things are not supposed to be going this way. They had a plan of things going their way. Someone's working against them, Gilbert.
They had a plan, and the only two people that are working against them is Amasalu Telahun and Mujib Kasim.
Now, the referee has consulted the assistant, and I don't know if there's going to be any different change here. Here it is again. There is no touch on the goalkeeper. There's no touch on the goalkeeper. And then it's put to Mujib. The goalkeeper helps the ball along. The referee has actually consulted. This is a goal that came in the 38th minute by Tilahun. And a very good strike from the defender who's roving up at the front. I am very interested to see what the referee will be saying here, even as the fans begin singing and dancing. That is very merited with 2 goals in the first half, and with play having been stopped because of an injury on Jaco Penze. He's got it well. He's going to be able to play. Now, here it is again. It looked like a high boot there. Oh, a little touch on the shin. Maybe a little touch on the shin there. A little touch on the shin there. Well,
there is some contact.
It looks like, I don't know, it's very minimal. Yeah. I don't even know how to measure that touch here. But I've seen the center referee consulting the assistant. I'm waiting to see what decision will be made here. I think the goalkeeper gets the advantage of being treated on the field of play. If he's going to go out, then they're going to have to bring in a substitute goalkeeper. And I think a yellow card was given here as well to one of the players in that instance. Yeah, Jacob Penze will have to continue. Otherwise, he's going to be treated off the field of play. And if he does, then they're going to have to bring in the substitute goalkeeper. For the fans, they always have substitutes, but they never get injured, the fans, do they? They continue with the game all through. If the goal stands, the fans will continue to celebrate.
He's given it, Bernard.
No, he already did give it a long time back. The ball is at the center. It doesn't matter who else doesn't feel it should have been a goal. It is a goal. He already gave it a long time back. He was only making sure that the goalkeeper is being attended to. And I think by now we'll be counting the minutes added to this half. And because of the stoppage of play, maybe we'll have 5 minutes added to it. It was the 3 and then plus the 2. As they get a big... they're going to make it official. 3 minutes, I think. Okay, 3 minutes is what has been added. As the ball rolls for the first time in the entire game, closest to the box of the Fasil Kenema side, almost getting into the box. They haven't gotten it into the box at all.
Okay, let's go.
Even what we had as a foul earlier on was outside the box. But 2-0 in favor of Fasil Kenema. And good ball control as well. And a little tap to get to Shimekit Guksa. Back into the midfield. Picked up by Haptamu Takeste. They're really creating the spaces, Gilbert, and they're seeing each other on where they are placed. It's almost looking like there's 2 players extra every time in a white shirt going for the ball.
You're right. The two wing backs, Amasalu and Enyehu Kesahun, actually joining the attack and making it look like there's a lot more white people on the field. I mean, white jerseys.
Oh, Gilbert, okay. I think you're also thinking about a white Christmas. Gilbert is in the white mood, so yeah, you'll see. The white jerseys are just too many. And they've already scored 2 goals in this one. Fasil Kenema, 600 kilometers north of Addis Ababa is where you'll come to the town of Fasil. They're playing a team that has come from about 350 kilometers, not too far off. And they are already leading this game by 2 goals to 0. Samuel's quite happy in his defensive role at the moment. They've kept the strikers of the Jima Abajifa side to the halfway line, rarely moving away from there. And I do agree with Gilbert that now the Jima Abajifa side will have to come out of their cocoon. They have... You couldn't say they have nothing to lose. They actually have everything to lose now. If they stay in there, they're going to lose it. So they might as well just come out and minimize on the loss and try to make capital on what they've got. Pushed back to the captain. And that's Koulibaly, Keder, another of the defenders on the Fasil Kenema side. Big one onto the left side. The flag has stayed down again with Guksa. It's becoming the destroying chief here in the forward line. This is Suraf Danachu. Sends it onto the right side. That's the only way to get the better of the defender, Sadiq Sacho, who's on that side, who's joined the defense now to help out. The man on the ground, but the advantage is with the team with possession. That's the whistle at half time. I think Fasil Kenema are playing very intelligently in this game. no point in working hard when you can work smart. And that's what they have done. They're not using too much energy, Gilbert. And because of that, they have gone for quality attacks. And it has borne them fruit. 2 goals in the first half.
Yes, and one coming from that gentleman, that is Mujib Qasim, who was the top scorer in 2018-2019 season with 23 goals, now standing at 2 goals in this league.
He needs to work harder to try and beat records as well. I have to remind you as well that Pele's record of 644 goals in a club football has been overtaken by Lionel Messi. So now Lionel Messi has scored the most, I think the 644th. But from the Addis Ababa Stadium with Kasim's and Telaun's goal, it's Jim Anil, Fasil City 2 at half-time.
This weekend on SuperSport. On Saturday, the Proteas return to test action with a Boxing Day showdown against Sri Lanka. The Blues are out to add more misery on their misfiring neighbours. And Munster lock horns with bitter rivals and defending champions Leinster. Then on Sunday, riders showcase their skill at the third stop of the Cyclocross World Cup. David Moyes and the Hammers get ready to battle the Seagulls. And the Baggies face the daunting prospect of a trip to Anfield. Up your game this weekend on SuperSport.
Socks? What were you thinking? Socks don't make the heart beat faster, and they don't bring us together. No one ever sang for socks. What would fill their heart with joy? And give them that. Don't give them socks. Give them sport. Give them DSTV.
Manchester United have reached the promised land. It's that's brilliant. That is beyond special. What about that?
The UEFA Champions League. Get and stay connected to DSTV to watch every game on SuperSport. We've got the world's best football. Get ready for liftoff on your World of Champions as we bring you the best of the sporting weekend that'll take you by surprise. Take the inside line to the best moments of the weekend.
What a start this would be. Oh, it's perfection.
Heart-stopping moments that can't be scripted.
So he's gone again. Oh, what a finish.
All the drama, all the action. Catch the best of the best every Monday night at 8 with What a Weekend. Only on SuperSport.
ክቡራን ተመልካቾቻችን የመጀመሪያው አጋማሽ ፋሲል ከነማ 2-0 በሆነ ውጤት ጅማ አባጂፋርን እየመራ ወደ መልበሻ ቤት ሁለቱ ቡድኖች ገብተዋል። በሙሉ የጨዋታ ብልጫ በፋሲል ከነማ በኩልና 2 ጎሎች በጥብቅ መከላከል ደግሞ ጅማ አባጂፋሮች የመጀመሪያውን 45 ደቂቃ አጠናቀዋል። በርካታ መነጋገሪያ ርዕሰ ጉዳዮች ነበሩ። ጎሎቹ በተለይ ሁለተኛው ጎል የገባበት መንገድ እንዲሁም ደግሞ አንድም የጅማ አባጂፋር ተጫዋች በ45 ደቂቃ ውስጥ ፍጹም ቅጣት ምት ክልል ውስጥ በፋሲል ከነማ በኩል አልታየም። ጨዋታውን ይገልጿል መኮንን
በደንብ የሚገልጸው ይመስለኛል ምክንያቱም የስዩም ከበደ ቡድን በጣም በከፍተኛ የማጥቃት እንቅስቃሴ አብዛኛው የጨዋታ ክፍለ ጊዜያቸውንም የተከላካይ መስመር ተጫዋቾቹ ጭምር በጣም በሃይ ላይን ወደፊት ተጠግተው በመጫወት በጅማ አባጂፋር የሜዳ ክልል ነው ብዙ ደቂቃ ያሳለፉትና በዛ ምክንያት ተደጋጋሚ ወደ ጅማ አባጂፋር የግብ ክልል የመድረስ እድል ነበራቸው በቀኝ መስመር በኩል የቀኝ መስመር ተከላካዩ እኔው ካሳሁን በጣም ወደፊት የተጠጋ ማጥቃቱ ላይ ይሳተፋል የግራ መስመር ተከላካዩ የቅጣት ምት ጎሉን በአስደናቂ ሁኔታ ያስቆጠረው አምሳሉ ጥላሁን በተመሳሳይ የማጥቃት እንቅስቃሴውን በግራ መስመር በኩል እያገዘ ነው ከዛው የአማካይ ክፍል ላይ ሱራፌል ዳኛቸውን በተደጋጋሚ የግብ ዕድሎችን ሊፈጥሩ የሚችሉ ኳሶችን ለአጥቂው ለሙጂብ ቃሲም ሲጥል ተመልክተናልና ፋሲል ከነማ የሚገባውን የጎል መጠን የመጀመሪያው አጋማሽ ላይ 2 ጎሎችን ማስቆጠር ችሏል ግን ጅማ አባጂፋር በጣም እድለኛ የሚያስብለው የጨዋታ ክፍለ ጊዜ ይመስለኛል በርካታ የግብ ዕድሎችን ጅማ አባጂፋሮች አግኝተው ሳይጠቀሙባቸው ቀርተዋል
ጅማ አባጂፋር በመጀመሪያ ከዚህ በፊት በነበረው በሁለተኛው ሳምንት ጨዋታ ከወልቂጤ ከተማም አቻ ለመውጣት ያሰበ ቡድን ይመስል ነበር ውጫዊ የሆኑት ያስተዳደር ችግሮች ሜዳ ላይ እየታዩ እንደሆነ በሚገባ እየተመለከትን ነው በጨዋታዎቹ ላይ ፋሲል ከነማዎች በርካታ ሙከራዎችን አድርገው ነበር አንበሉ የተከላካይ መስመር ተጫዋቹ ያሬድ ባዬ ሳይቀር 2 ሙከራዎች አሉ አንደኛው የማዕዘን የተገኘው ኳስ ነበር በግራም በቀኝም በአምሳሉም በኩል በእኔውም በኩል ፋሲል ከነማዎች በርካታ ማጥቃቶችን አድርገው ነበር
ትልቁ ችግር አሁን ጅማ አባጂፋር ቢያንስ እንደ ወልቂጤው ጨዋታ ሁሉ 1 ነጥብ ለማግኘት የሚጫወት ቢመስልም ግን በጣም ዲስኦርጋናይዝድ እንደሆነ ተመልክተናል የተከላካይ መስመሩ የፋሲል ከነማን የማጥቃት እንቅስቃሴ ለማስቆም የሚያስችል ቅንጅትና ውህደት አልተመለከትንበትም የቆሙ ኳሶችን ላይ በቀላሉ የፋሲል ከነማ ተጫዋቾች በተለይ ማዕዘን ምቶችን በቀላሉ የመግጨት እድሎችን እየፈቀዱላቸው ነው በጅማ አባጂፋር አማካይና የተከላካይ መስመር ተጫዋቾች እንደዚሁም በአጥቂው መስመር መካከልም ልዩነቶች እንዳሉ ተመልክተናል
ሙጂብ ቃሲም ከሱራፌል ዳኛቸው በጥሩ ሁኔታ ተረጋግቶ ሱራፌል ተመልክቶ የሰጠው ኳስ የዕለቱ ትልቁ መነጋገሪያ የሆነው ጃኮ ፔንዜ የመለሰበትን መንገድ እየተመለከትን ነው ጎል መሆን የሚችል ኳስ ነው ፔንዜ ግን በአዳማ ከተማ በኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ ረጅም ጊዜ ልምድ ያለው ግብ ጠባቂ ነው ኳሱን መልሶበታል እንግዲህ እነዚህ እንቅስቃሴዎች የቀይ ካርድ ሊያሰጥ የሚችል ወይስ ቢጫ ካርድ ነው የሚለው ትልቅ የጨዋታው ጥያቄ ነው ሽመክት ጉክሳ የመጨረሻ ተጫዋቹን አልፏል ነገር ግን መላኩን በቢጫ ካርድ ነበር ያለፉት ወንድማገኝ ማርሻልን በቢጫ ካርድ ነበር ያለፉት
የመሃል ዳኛው ኤፍሬም ደበሌ በመጀመሪያው 45 ደቂቃዎች ላይ በጣም ትልቅ እርምጃ የሚፈልጉ ውሳኔዎችን አሳልፈዋል አንደኛው ለወንድማገኝ የቀይ ካርድ መስጠት ነበረባቸው ሽመክት ጉክሳ ላይ የሰራው ጥፋት የሚለውን ማንሳት ይቻላል ምክንያቱም ወንድማገኝ የመጨረሻ ተጫዋች እንደመሆኑ መጠን ውሳኔያቸው ጥፋት ነው ብለው የሚወስኑ ከሆነ የቀይ ካርድ ውሳኔ ማሳለፍ ነበረባቸው
ቅጣቱን ተጠቅሞ አምሳሉ ጥላሁን ጎሏን አስቆጥሯል በርካታ ቅጣት ምቶችን በኢትዮጵያ ቡና ጨዋታም በዛሬው ጨዋታም አግኝተው አይጠቀሙ ነበር ፋሲሎች ወደ ጎልነት የተቀየረችው እቺ ኳስ ነች
ሱራፌል ዳኛቸው የዚህ ቡድን የቋሚ ኳሶችን የሚጠቀም ተጫዋች እንደሆነ ተመልክተናል ግን ባለፉት ጥቂት ጨዋታዎች ላይ የተሳካለት አልነበረም አሁን ምን መለከተው የጨዋታ እንቅስቃሴ ፋሲል ከነማ ሁለተኛውን ጎል ያስቆጠረበትና ሽመክት ጉክሳ በጃኮ ፔንዜ ላይ ጥፋት ተፈጽሞብኛል በሚል ግብ ጠባቂው የወደቀበት ነው ዳኛው ኤፍሬም ደበሌ ጎሉን አዝድቀውታል ጃኮ ፔንዜ የመጀመሪያው እንቅስቃሴ ስትመለከተው ጥፋት የተሰራበት አይመስልም አውቆ ምናልባት የወደቀ ነው የሚመስለው ነገር ግን በመልሶ እይታ በጣም በቅርበት ስንመለከተው ዳኛው ይሄንን ኳስ ጥፋት ነው ብሎ አስቆመው ለጅማ አባጂፋር
እንደምንመለከተው በሽመክትና በጃኮ መካከል ያለው ንክኪ በተደጋጋሚ መልሶ ምልከታ ማየት የሚጠይቅ ነው እግሩን ሰንዝሯል ጉልበቱን አግኝቶታል አላገኘው የሚለው ከጎል ጀርባ ባለው ካሜራ በሚገባ የሚታይ ነው የጃኮ ፔንዜ መጎዳት በነገራችን ላይ ለጎሉ ብቻ ሳይሆን ለጅማ አባጂፋር ተጠባባቂ ወንበርም ትልቅ ስጋት ነው የሚሆነው እሱ ከሌለ ግብ ጠባቂ የለም አድላሚን ከተጠባባቂ ወንበር ላይ ተነስቶ በሁለተኛ ጨዋታ ሊገባል ማለት ነው
የጅማ አባጂፋርን በጣም ብዙ ችግሮች ከሚያሳዩት መንገዶች አንደኛው የግብ ጠባቂ ተቀያሪ ወንበር ላይ እንኳን አለመኖራቸው ነው
እንደምትመለከተው ንክኪው በጣም ትንሽ ንክኪ አለ
ዳኛውን የሸወዳቸው ይመስለኝ ግን ሰይድ ጃኮ ፔንዜ ሽመክት ጥፋቱን በፈጸመበት ቅጽበት አልወደቀም ጥቂት ማዘናጋቶችን አሳይቷልና አውቆ የወደቀ ይመስል ነበር ለዳኛውና በዛ ምክንያት ይመስለኛል ጎሉ እንዲጸድቅ
ኳሱ ካለፈ ጎል ሊሆን እንደሚችል እርግጠኛ ሆኖ ይመስላል
ከዛ በኋላ ነው መውደቁን ያሳያቸው ዳኛ
አሁን ንክኪ አለ ለሚለውን ሊወሰን የሚያስችለው እንቅስቃሴ እየተመለከተ ነው
ከጥፋቱ በኋላ ሽመክት ጉክሳ 2 እርምጃዎችን ተራምዷል
ንክኪ ያለ ለማለት በጣም አስቸጋሪ ነው የሚሆነው ዳኛው በዚህ ቅጽበት ውስጥ እኛ በመልሶ መልከታ እየተመለከትን መወሰን አስቸጋሪ ሆነውን ለመወሰን በጣም ከባድ ነው የሚሆነው ሁለተኛው 45 ደቂቃ ከጥቂት ደቂቃዎች በኋላ ይጀመራል ክቡራን ተመልካቾቻችን ጅማ አባጂፋሮች ወደ ጨዋታው ይመለሳሉ ወይስ ፋሲል ከነማ ግቦችን አስቆጥሮ በአሸናፊነት 3 ነጥብ ያገኛል ወደ ቀጥታ ስርጭት ነው የምናመራው በአማርኛው መኮንንና ሰፎኒያስ ይጠብቋቸዋል በእንግሊዝኛ ደግሞ በርናንድ ከአጋሩ ጋር በመሆን አብራችሁ ይቆዩናል። አብራችሁ
በጨዋታው እንግዲህ የመጀመሪያው አጋማሽ ላይ በሁለቱም ቡድኖች በኩል ያለውን የማጥቃት እንቅስቃሴ እየተመለከትን ነው። ፋሲል ከነማ በአጠቃላይ 12 የማጥቃት ሙከራዎችን አድርጓል። ጅማ አባጂፋር ደግሞ አንድም የማጥቃት ሙከራን አላደረገም። ይሄ እንግዲህ በፋሲል ከነማ በኩል ያለውን ከፍተኛ ብልጫ የሚያሳይ ነው። ፋሲል ከነማ አብዛኛውን የማጥቃት እንቅስቃሴ 6 ወይም 50% በቀኝ መስመር ነው ያደረገው። ቀሪዎቹን ደግሞ በግራ መስመር በኩል ነው ያደረገው።
በተቀያሪ ተጠባባቂ ወንበር ላይ የሚቀመጡ ተጫዋቾች አሉ ጨዋታውን ሊቀይሩ የሚችሉ። ለጅማ አባጂፋር ምናልባት ተጎድቶ ጉዳቱ ቀጥሎበት የሚወጣ ከሆነ አድላሚን ነው እንግዲህ ተጠባባቂ ወንበር ላይ ያለው ተጫዋቹን ግብ ጠባቂ የሚሆነው። ሌሎች ተጫዋቾች ኢብራሂም አብዱልቃድር፣ ቤካም አብደላ፣ አብርሃም ታምራት፣ ተመስገን ደረስ ብቸኛውን ጎል እስካሁን ያስቆጠረ ይገኛል። ክሩቤል ኃይሉ፣ በረከት ደስታን፣ አቤል እያዩን፣ አለም ብርሃን ይግዛውን፣ ናትናኤል ገብረ ኢየሱስን በተጠባባቂ ወንበር ላይ በረከትን እንዲሁ መጠቀም የሚችልበት እድሎች አሉ። ብዙ ጎሎችን ለማስቆጠር ፋሲል ከነማዎች ደግሞ በጅማ አባጂፋር ወደ ጨዋታው ለመምጣት ወሳኝ ትግል የሚያደርጉበት ነው። እንግዲህ ቀጥሎ የምንመለከተው የሁለተኛው 45 ደቂቃ ጨዋታዎች ይሆናሉ። ሁለተኛው 45 ደቂቃ ምን አይነት ነገሮች ይከሰታሉ የሚለውን ከሱፐር ስፖርት ጋር ቆይታ በማድረግ እንድትመለከቱ በአክብሮት ጋብዛችኋለን። አብራችሁ ቆዩ።
Live Premier League matches across 5 days to end the year. It's a frenzy of festive football.
Watch all the Premier League action right here, the home of the Premier League.
The 2021 Premier League season on a dedicated Supersport Premier League channel on DSTV. Proudly brought to you by Guinness, made of more, and Glow Unlimited.
Got to be very careful.
Incredible.
Declaring the winner.
That's the time.
It is over, and we have a new champion. Does not take long to do so. My word, makes history.
The celebration is on. Big elbows, vicious. Looking for the submissions.
Referee.
Oh, he's out.
He's out.
He's out. Feel the emotion now. Pay his respects.
All the UFC action live on Supersport, your World of Champions. Get a cage-side seat to the UFC. Upgrade to DSTV Compact Plus.
This Sunday on Supersport, the Stags take on the defending champions in a high-octane 2020 clash. Spurs' tricky fixture run continues with a visit to Molineux. And can Connacht hold off a surging Ulster outfit? Up your game on Supersport.
Why is that?
told, shoot from outside.
Shoot from as soon as you see your enemy, try and take a shot. Aim to the enemy and take a shot. And it's very clear that the intentions are, let's try and get at least a goal.
Yeah. I think the enemy in this instance, you mean the goalkeeper, because if they were to shoot every time they see the other 10 players and not the goalkeepers, they'll be shooting,
They need to aim. They need to aim at the enemy and then the goalkeeper.
So the goalkeeper is the enemy?
Is the enemy.
Okay, I get you. That. I was just wondering, man, having to shoot at 11 players all at once.
When you only have 7 bullets.
No, they've got an equal number of bullets. This is a through ball. But it's not going to be exciting. The forwards, they decide to play it back into the midfield with the quick feet of Yared Bai cutting it back through, trying to get through the center. Abajifa now have possession. Oh, very legible in the way they were going to run it out on the left side, and so they're just overwhelmed by the fact that the balls are being picked up so easily. Habtamu Tekeste very quick on his feet to intercept that one. And then to Amsalu. Long ball down to the big danger man, Shimeket Guksa. He's getting the better of the defender here, and he's finding support from Amsalu as well. The two of them have tormented that left side from which most of the attacks came. The big one down on the right side, not stopped by Samuel Ioannis. It goes off for a throw-in. There's going to be a change now. They are bringing in Ibrahim Tamirat. Abraham Tamirat, if you like. Comes in the place of Habtamu Niguse. Hasn't been very effective, Habtamu, but he's not the only one who's looking like he's not giving 100% in this game, Gil, but the rest of the team as well has not looked like they were giving 100%.
Correct. He was an attacking midfielder. He has really had zero work going forward. I think incoming of number 18, Abraham Tamirat, is just to try and help reorganize that midfield.
Is out on the left side, picked up by Tilahun, and then again to Shemekit Guksa. Whenever you see the two on the ball, they're planning something. Good ball to Mujiba. The referee has whistled for offside. They have started again, Gilbert, to try and get him on the run, but he's got to time his runs properly. You and me always have a second chance to see this. Too early. Yeah, he's early. A whole foot ahead.
Yeah, but very good diagonal passes,
yes.
Especially coming from
killer passes,
yes,
through balls,
and coming from none other than the commander-in-chief, jersey number 10, Surafel Degnachu.
Is he the commander-in-chief?
They need to put a lot of dabs on him because
he's commanding the midfield.
He's commanding.
Okay.
There he is.
Gilbert, you've got to be specific here. This is a good one down on the right side now. And Enyeo Kasahun can't catch it. Just too long. But those diagonal passes and the through passes, what Gilbert is talking about here, they are going to kill the defense. They usually do kill the defense, but Mujib has got to time his runs properly, just so that he's not in the offside. This one, the whole ball has crossed the line. The whole of the ball, they say, must cross the line. The fans, they've crossed borders, they've crossed all the other places as well. They are enjoying a little bit of a sing and dance session at the Addis Ababa Stadium in favor of their team. That's the man, Surafel Tenacho. Again, the flag up right under Samuel Ioannis. And it's going to be a goal kick that will be given to... Yeah, it's the other man on the other side is offside. It's not even the number 12 here. On the other side, Samuel Ioannis was onside, but there's Shemeket who's offside on that side. So if any of the players is offside, it's offside. 4 of them by Fasil Kenema side. They've got to also now watch out for those runs, because it's stopping some very good action that could have been beneficial to them. But they're still running the possession statistics here. Tamu Takeste pushing it into the midfield. And with a high line that Chima Abajifaar is playing, it's no wonder they are just trying to find out who can outrun the defense with a good timing when there's a through ball played.
That's correct, but that's why there are a lot of diagonal passes on the Fasil Kenema side.
In the midfield, Mujib trying to go on a solo move
but he encounters just too many of the red stockings. His main forte is speed, but he's got to measure it. This one's onside, no doubt about it. It gets to Shemikit Guksa. He'll look for support from behind him, or decides to go past the defender himself and pushes the ball through the defender's feet. That's going to be a penalty. Or I think they give it out for a corner. But it's a tackle from behind.
It's a
the
tackle
danger
from
of
behind.
it all is that it could have been a penalty.
Yes, it
That's
could
the
have
danger
been
of it.
easily been a penalty.
They've got to watch out what they do in there. Here he is again, running inside there. It's just that he tackled the ball.
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
Good call by the referee, Ephraim Debele. And a corner to the Fasil Kenema side. Left foot, looking like an in-swinger. I don't know what Mr. Surafel Delachiu has been told here by the referee, but I see he has gone into the referee's book, so we will confirm that. And I think the referee also has called the captain. And he is actually told the captain to tell his players to calm down. And that's very diplomatic of Mr. Ephraim and Debele. Never mind the fact that this game is being played in the diplomatic capital of Africa as well. Debele has told the captain to tell his players to calm down. Jacob Penze comes out here to pick up the loose ball, and I think he tells him that at a time when he had admonished this player, Donachel. And it must have been something off the ball, because Donachel was not even anywhere close to the ball there. But he gets himself yellow carded. Most likely it would have been for dissent.
Yeah, it's definitely for dissent, because we didn't see any tackles from him.
Going on to the left side and trying to get Shemikit Guksa to go for it. It goes out of the field of play for a throw-in. Now they're discussing here. Odichim Siom Kebeda is discussing with his assistant, Hailu Negash. What do you think they're talking about?
Well, I think it's a question of trying to advise his players not to get into any wrong books with the referee, because they are in possession of this game and they're leading 2 goals to 0.
Absolutely no need to lose any play in this. Remember again, the Fasil Kenema players are... this is going to be led to play, but it's gone off the field of play for Mujib Musa. I was telling you about the Fasil Kenema players. They have an affinity for cards. So Sabake was carded in the last game with yellow. Shemikit Guksa himself also. I think Abtabu Tekese as well, Mujib Kasib as well. So they have to really watch out. Gonna go out on the left side. They're using the wings to very good effect. Yihun Eneshaw has been dispossessed. It's played back into the midfield. Oh, just frantically trying to send it up front. He's lucky to have his teammate Sadiq Seicho picking it up. That's a good ball by Surafel Denachu. It's been let to roll down. It's cut out for a corner. Very, very desperate kind of tackle coming from Elias Ataro. Yeah, he knows very well that he's got to be careful to go only for the ball. And I think also Surafel didn't want to get himself into a situation where he would be entangled in any attack on that side. Down on the left side to Salu Telahum. And then with Guksa, they bring it back to the center to Yihun Endashu. They play it out onto the right, so they're involving literally everyone. And Nyeo Kasahun has already given it out as well to Samuel Yohanes. They're just trying to draw out the defenders. And the Abajifa players are actually just caught ball watching, Gilbert. That's the only thing they have to do at the moment.
Yes,
look at where they've taken it to.
Yeah.
This is literally telling them, you know what, let's start this all over again. It's like, let's have another chance.
Yes, and they want them to come at least at them, but they're just sitting. You can see the Reds in playing behind the ball. Something that is not very interesting for.
So they're inviting them out. Now, you always have 2 things you can do with an invitation: either accept or decline. So the Abajifor side have declined the invitation, so they're staying put in their bus and parking it, and then it means that Fasil will still have to bring in the attack. Surafel Danachu. Some little good footwork as well by Samuel Yohanes. He bogs you down even just watching it sometimes does bog you down. Unless, of course, you are a Fasil Keneba player that you enjoy the fact that you're leading and that you're also running possession here. Looking for a chance to play it from the right side. Again, the speed doesn't take off as was expected on the right side. Danachu sends it to the left side. This is to Amsal Telahun. And this is what they were looking for all the time. No offside this time round, just looking for a quick pass that can get them forward. Oh, the Blackstockings organize themselves very quickly to take the ball away. And now you begin to wonder what will happen. Sadiq. And at least initiate some good play for the Abajifa side. They've got 4 men up at the front, and that's the better combination with Tariku as well. Quickly turns for a shot. Should have probably tried to get a better place to play it from. It comes back to the center. Oh well, now the passing doesn't quite help them out. Big kick will remove it from the area by Yared Bai, who's got Mujib running for it. Kasim decides that he's gonna try to change the wing on that side. Again, half-hearted as well. Should have watched on the right side. There was Samuel Yohannes running in that direction. But at least they're trying as well to be able to get to it. Nice holding off and sending it on to the left side. This is Sadiq Secho. He needs support. There's no one behind him. He's got to take it all the way to the middle. And there are so many men who could get to it by the time it goes in there. So they have to rebuild it. They've got 3 men up at the front. Nothing doing, says the referee here. With the ball having been the one tackled. It comes out to the right side. Samuel Yohannes. 3 men in black stockings and white jerseys for the Fasil side are up at the front. You've got to marvel at the defensive discipline, Gilbert. As much as we say Jim Abajifar are staying in their line, they're not moving. When they are under attack, they really put everybody behind the ball.
Yes, they're dropping back in numbers.
Good one through for Mujib. Denied by Jaco Penze. Instinctively diving onto the left side. Mujib doesn't put full power on it as well. I think it gets spent in the run. So much so that the power, no, wasn't there. It wasn't there at all.
Bernard, twice Mujib has had an opportunity to play the ball away from the keeper, because in the position where the keeper is, you cannot score from the near post.
It's going to be a yellow card on the captain, Yared by Ageda. And as much as they're leading, they're also just making sure that they're stopping everybody who's going in that direction. The tackle came onto the forward who was already trying to go in full flight. And Yared Bai is a guilty man in this instance. He previously was called by the referee and told, look, talk to your men and tell them to calm down, eh? But he himself needs to calm down as well. And that's why he was yellow carded. He just pushes him off the ball. And if you look at the two, physiques, then Surafels is a smaller one. Just pushed back, 4 men up at the front. It's going to be an offside, so obviously. And they're going to start the build-up again from their side.
something needs to happen in this side, Gilbert. Either the Fasil Kenema side need to stretch the lead further, or Abajifa need to prove that they're still in the game here.
You're right, Bernard. Fasil have wasted 2 golden opportunities from Kasim, and Jima have not stayed back. They are pushing Mambas forward, but their final pass to their 2 strikers, that is Muleken Tiriko and Sadiq Secho, have not been fruitful.
Well, it's no wonder then Jima Abajifa have not scored have scored only 1 goal in the 2 matches they have played in the Ethiopian Premier League, and they really need somebody who can push the goals in. And I think they're bringing in one man who scored the only goal they've scored so far. Temesgen Derese is the man who's in jersey 19, and he's substituting Sadiq Secho. Looked very tired, Sadiq Secho, in this game. It didn't look like he was going to last the 90 minutes. And so they brought in Derese, Temesgen. Probably a faster-footed player. We'll see whether or not his inclusion can help the side here. Mujib takes the bounce on this one all the way back to Jaco Penze. He starts the build-up, trying to get at least Temesgen to have a touch on the ball. It's going to be a throw-in. Going to be given to the Abajifar side. Well, the coach is back on his feet. The Abajifar coach is telling them, move forward. Paulos, get a show. Oh, and then they've lost possession again. It comes up to the middle. Good turn by Surafel Danacho. Although they've lost it here. This one goes right through the defenders to Mr. Samako Mikel. Do you think, as a goalkeeper, Samako Mikel might lose a little bit of concentration, because nothing is going in his direction? Look, there's only been 17% that is going that side for him.
It might send him to sleep. And no mattress.
That's a little bit extreme, isn't it? Can you imagine coming with a mattress to, try and take a nap on the field? Here is a good one! Again, just over the bar. Oh, but a good touch on that ball. Quite unexpectedly, almost beats the goalkeeper here. The first shot was very easily dealt with, but then that one almost caught Jaco Penze again. Yehun Endashu could have changed the scoreline here, but Jaco Penze had seen it. And this time he's flying over. He's a big goalkeeper, and you expect him to have punched it off the field of play. It would have looked better if he had a touch on it, but he didn't. There's another chance that Fasil have lost. This man is dangerous. And it's just that he pushes himself a little bit too far off. Shimekit Guksa pushes the ball just too far off. Now back into the midfield. Jima Abajifar certainly have got to do something much better here. They've got to have at least the possession and to be able to use it correctly. Fasil, Gilbert, they've spent a good amount of time just running the ball around, and rightfully so. They're sitting back, the Abajifar, so you run the ball around because you're leading by 2-0.
Yeah, and then on the break, they are also extremely fast, especially in the final third, because they would slow down the game and make Jima Abajifar go to sleep, and for that moment they break very quickly.
He's out in the midfield. It's looking like a better idea this time round to pump the ball forward. But Surafel Awol is cut off by the speed of the captain, Yared Bai, and the ball goes out for a goal kick.
He's very intelligent. Very intelligent captain, Yared Bai. Okay. Very intelligent stopper.
Right. He knows exactly how to cut them off and make sure that they are not getting into any position that might compromise the defensive prowess of the side. Some good footwork here. Mujib. Well, he manages to get it away from the defenders, but doesn't manage to go in with it to do anything else. This is going to be a start for the Abajifar side, but you can see the desperate defensive tactics they're using at the moment. they're lacking in ideas. They're getting tired as well and getting desperate. I mean, just sending the ball off the field. This is the one they wanted to pick up, and you see the player was just flinging himself on the ground there. Melaku Wolde simply flinging himself on the ground to try and take that ball, and he was very easily evaded. And then they gave the ball away very quickly. And for Abajifa, surely they've got to think about what they're going to do with the defensive line and how they're going to move the ball into the center. It's becoming desperate, Gilbert. Look at this one. Again, forcing Jacopenze off his line, and that's the best he can do.
Well, it's very evident that Woodmark and Marcos on the right-hand side as a fullback is having a lot of problems. And the coach, the national team coach, is in sync of exactly what we're trying to say.
He's changed his position today. He doesn't want to be seen in the center stand. He's sitting on the outside. I think he's still stringing up the national team. Now you realize why it becomes very difficult to know exactly who's going to play for you in the national team if you're in Ethiopia. Or maybe the other way to look at it is that the Ethiopian clubs have a lot of ex-internationals just because there's so much talent, especially in the midfield and in attack, that it keeps on changing. The ball down on the right side to Enyeo. Kasaon brings it back to the center. Desperate clearance that just sends it back to Kasaun. Lifts it higher this time round. Oh, there was a connection coming off the foot of Samuel Yohannes, but Jacopenze deals with it. And he starts the build-up close to himself, not knowing whether it is going to go very far. Actually, the ball remains in their half, Gilbert. It doesn't go out of their half.
Yeah, the passes are not being strung right. And that's a big problem when you have
balls not getting complete passes.
Yeah.
As they fight for position again. Kasahun. They can toy with the defense because they've got possession and maybe just look for the chance here. The attempt to push it through was too casual by Yehun. And now Abajifaar will probably try to use the... And Samake will have been beaten to a howler. And I asked this question a couple of minutes ago. Is it possible that Samake could lose concentration because of not having anything going to his side? And that's exactly what happens here. Samake is desolate. He knows he has landed uncomfortably, but also he didn't clear the ball. And that brings a little delight to the fans of Abajifaar. Something that comes out of nothing. It actually came from the midfield. And the big run here is not dealt with by Kedir Koulibaly. Neither is it dealt with by Samake, who's way off his line anyway, playing as the last man of defense here. They give a chance to the Abajifaar forward, Buzaye Huendesho, to get onto the score chart here. Courtesy of Samake's howler.
Well, we talked about Bernard going to sleep, and exactly what we envisioned has come out to fruition. And Samake, with an opportunity to clear the ball, he makes a nuisance of that ball and gives an opportunity for Jima Dibar at least to get one consolation goal. That is the easiest goal, the easiest goal that has been scored so far.
That's the easiest goal, actually.
And he's not even injured, Bernard.
No, I think he is. he landed very uncomfortably. He did. You
out
know,
of nothing.
You know, the pain is even worse because it's a goal. If it wasn't a goal, he probably would get well very quickly. But he's landed quite uncomfortably, I must say as well. Samake tried a little bit of a Caesar's kick mid-air. It just didn't work out for him, with his defender trying to catch up with him, Kedir Koulibaly. The two forwarders, make the fans wonder. We've been singing so long the praises. We've been saying how good everybody is, and then what happens now? How do you give this so easily? That's what he's saying. He's just not believing that they could concede an easy goal like that. The scoreline changes again from the Addis Ababa Stadium, and which is what we wanted in this game, so that it can really be explosive. It's Chima Abajifaar 1 and Fasil Kedemanil. Now Samake will have to be very watchful. And now they know that the first balls from the midfield could be the ones that could beat them as the game proceeds.
You're right. I was thinking of maybe Samake getting an early Christmas. Because that was a gift.
Yeah, that's an early Christmas given to them by Samake Bikel. Thank you, Samake, they would be saying. And Merry Christmas to you as well, as they try to bring it to the defense line, and then Fasil will pick it up again. A body check, quite so obviously in front of the referee on the advancing Abtamu Takeste. I think there's going to be a yellow card as well here. Probably something said after that decision. And the referee says, please come back here. Very, very firm referee here. And he knows exactly who committed the foul. You can't disappear from the scene. He says to the other players, look, can you calm down? And so he gives the yellow card to Melaku Walde.
The cameras must have watched him.
Yeah, he was seen. I mean, he was guilty. He just moved off the scene. That's all. He moved off the scene. There he is at 16 there, just banging into the Takeste, and then he moves out of the scene. But good thing the referee just kept it in his mind. It was very deliberate as well. You first have to make sure the player who's on the ground is not injured, and if he is, you get medical attention. But you keep it in your mind that he's gonna penalize that, and so he does penalize the guilty man Melaku Walde. So again, two men are planning how to take this one. And then they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white jerseys in the box. I was waiting to see whether the captain will join them as well. Yared Baye likes to join these ones, but I think he stayed in his line here. It's a low one this time round. Has been picked up by Jim Abajifa. 2-1 the scoreline. And that makes it very exciting because it gives a chance to Abajifa to tie the game, or as well for Fasil Keneba to go out and pull the lead. So everybody's coming out of their cocoon now. There's more players up front in red. There's more players running in defense as well in white. And I think we're going to see all-out football in the few minutes remaining in this game. Down on the right side to Shimegit Guksa. He's looked up to find out who's advancing and has made it look like he's going to bring in a very big cross. I think there's a handball, and it should be on. It should be on Shimegit Guksa. He's the one who's going to be losing it. He picks it back again and does the right thing to put the ball through here. Jacob Benza is beaten again. But you're going to give credit to Shimegit Guksa, whether you want it or not. As Samuel Yohannes scores for Fasil, it's because of the work that has been done by Shimegit Guksa. Samuel Yohannes is the scorer of this one. And the fans can start singing again. But I'll tell you why Shimegit Guksa will have to take credit for it. Because of the intelligent work that he did there. He knows that Mujib is offside, and so he doesn't give him the ball at all. He waits until somebody else goes on the onside. Intelligent play there that puts Samuel Yohannes through and to beat Jaco Penze. Otherwise, Mujib was already trying to run there and he would have been offside. There's no doubt about it.
Very good insight, Bernard.
That has been done very well past the goalkeeper there to change the scoreline again. Gilbert.
Very good insight between Shimegit Guksa and Samuel Yohannes. He waited, and as we said, going through the midfield, the striker becomes a decoy, and Guksa from the left-hand side scores a wonderful goal.
Lovely play by the Fasil Kenema side. We got a man on the ground as well, and it's Abtamu Takeste. He's taken a lot of knocks in this game, and he will be feeling the pinch for sure. I mean, it's not even a question of feigning it. He's taken some very hard knocks, Abtamu Takeste. Plus, he took a yellow card as well for one of the tackles that he himself had effected. For Jim Abajifa, now it's a question of trying out something better, and I think they brought in a substitution here. I think they brought in a new man on the field. We'll tell you in just a few minutes.
Okay, Temesgen Derese.
Out on the right side, trying to bring it across. That's some good footwork, but it can only work best if they try to move it forward. And true to the predictions, this was going to be an explosive one with Fasil Keneba looking to extend their lead, or for Abajifa looking to tie it. At that time when it was 2-1, now it's changed to 3 for the Fasil Keneba side and 1 for Jima Abajifar. as they try to bring it back into the midfield. They have a new man in the forward line in the name of Temesgen Derese, who scored the only goal they've scored so far. They need to use him more. They're not getting the balls to him. This is going to be a foul here. Although they still had the advantage with Buzayehu and Endesho, they opt to take the free kick. Here is the referee, at least now telling the coach to calm down. Now we've seen a coach being yellow carded. We've seen players being red carded here. We've seen yellow cards coming out of off-the-ball incidences, which just tells you that there is something they're telling the referee and they're not telling it in a very good way. I think he's consulted the assistant who says the ball has to be played from behind there. There's usually a lot of language that is not very good that is used on referees and also on the assistants, and now some coaches use it as well, and those ones are going to be penalized very hard.
Of course, and especially Carlos Getachew. He has really been bad-mouthing the referee from that touchline.
I just know he's been cautioned. I don't know exactly what he's told the referee, but he's been cautioned and told to calm down. Sometimes also they're too animated and they're told, look, just relax, take it easy, you know. And sometimes they step out of their area of jurisdiction. So many things happen on the field of play. For Fasil, the many things that are happening is that they're rolling down play almost at will from right to left and stringing the complete passes as well. Really just running circles around the Jima Abajifa players, setting up a run on the right side out of the field of play, but was intended for Shimekit Guksa, who's the architect of literally everything that has been going on in the Fasil Kenema side. And the only thing remaining is for him to get himself onto the score chart. But they've made a substitution. Alan Birhan Yigzo, I would presume, has taken the part of the injured Shimekit Guksa. No, Abtamu Tekese, I beg your pardon. I would think so, because Abtamu was stretchered off the field of play.
In fact, that's the second sub, Bernard, because I don't see Surafel Degnachu on the field, and in his place, I think Bereket Desta came in the second half, the number 7.
Yep, big clearance by Mr. Jacob Penze. Yeah, Shom Kebere is a little bit happier. I just don't know how he shows his happiness, but he doesn't seem to be sad at the moment. His team is leading by 3 goals to 1, and he took a big win off St. George, even though he lost to Ethiopia Coffee by 3 goals to 1. He still would be happy that he took on St. George. He had some very big opening fixtures playing against the biggest of the clubs in Ethiopian football. Out on the right side to Enyeu Kasahun. The cross here. I think that Mujib Kasim couldn't quite connect to that one. We've got just about 8 minutes in regular play remaining in this game. The fans have been on their feet. They're singing. And they're not going to be letting off anytime soon. They still have more songs that they have composed for this team. Temesgen Derese tries to change the wing. I think the offside flag is up. They're going to start it from that side. And so, he's way in front of the defender. There's no two ways about it. Gilbert, give some advice to these two teams as they go along.
Well, I think for Fasil Kenema, they need at least to keep the ball as much as possible, because we about 8 minutes on the clock. So the more possession they have, the more clock they run. For Jima, I think they need to attack more, because they considered 3 goals against 1. They can be able at least to pull 1 back, if not tie this game. So push more people forward and be more compact at the back.
Yeah, it's a shot that is going towards goal, and then it's repulsed. It's going to be done again. And it's going to be a throw-in from the right side. It's 3 goals to 1, and Kasim with the second goal in the 42nd minute needs to exert himself more in the game. And you should remember that when you're a striker, you're scoring as well, but then the competition changes as well to chasing the golden boot. And I thought Kasim would be the perfect candidate for it, but he should work harder. That's him on the ball. Trying a 1-2 combination, but not completing a pass. He also looks very sluggish when he's the one on the ball, so it tells you he's an out-and-out finisher. He's the one who needs to run and have 1 or 2 touches and put the ball in the net. But when he becomes provider, he has too many touches on the ball. A very hard-working Kadir Koulibaly makes sure that the ball goes forward, and it's picked up now by Shimekit Guksa. Tries to bring in a very quick cross. We've had another substitution that was made here. 27 and 14, which we told you about earlier on.
It was
having been substituted. We already made that substitution. Alan Birhan Yigzo came in earlier on. There is a chance for a shot towards goal or to lift it up if he wanted to. Decides for a low, and that connection not very well done. The new man, Alan Birhan Yigzo, says, put it down there on my leg there. Don't put it too high up, you know. I can't be able to cut it nicely when you put it that high up. Look at it again, Gilbert. It just rises, and so the connection can't be made as he intended to push it towards the net.
There was too much power.
Yeah,
the intent was right, but too much power.
Too much power.
Yeah.
And then probably not the right height as well. And for the new man, Alan Birhan, you did think he should be brought slightly lower. But it never comes the way you expect it. In fact, the mark of a good striker is how you're going to bring that down and make it work for you. This is... This is another chance for Fasila. They've controlled it. They've just pushed it slightly further off. They have the numbers in the box. And the second chance doesn't work out, Gilbert. They should have done that much earlier.
Yeah, some very good openings, especially for Fasil. They have all the time in the world. Look at that time and space that has been accorded to Alebriham Jigsaw. Again, another quick counter-attack by Jima Abajifar. Kicked away again by Fasil.
It's going out to the right side for Abajifar. Some advice for Abajifar, Gilbert. Some advice.
Well, for Abajifar, we've said that they are very compact at the back. Of course, they are moving backwards in numbers. They also need to move as a team, moving forward, and also try to increase the numbers, especially moving forward. And then the final third, the passes must be accurate, because there's been a lack of feed, especially to Muluken, Tiriku, and the new man, Temesgen Derese. They've been stopped off those good passes, especially at this point in time when you really need your team to push a little bit more forward. For Fasil, they've done exactly what they're doing. They knock the ball around, try to bring Jima on one side, and then those diagonal passes have really worked for them, because they're switching play, finding themselves in very good positions to be able to bring some wonderful crosses.
Again, Shimekit Guksa is involved in the push towards the area, and Guksa puts it in the net! The man I was talking about in terms of having been provider and saying that he should now put himself on the score chart. Finally, I think has heard me and decides to do exactly that and puts himself on the score chart. He's been provider. He has worked so hard behind the other strikers as well. The only chance that was available for him now was to try and put the ball in the net, and he does. Guksa will certainly be challenging today for man of the match, in my opinion. He's done well. The build-up starts on the left side, and he's on the ball at the moment. Looks around and, puts the ball through there, waits at the back, and pushes it through the maze of feet away from the goalkeeper as well. The positioning is perfect as well. He places it in the net. No need for anybody else to touch it. He gets the return ball from his teammate Bereket Desta. Now that's the mark of a good player all round, Gilbert.
Yeah, the cutback by Bereket Desta knew that he was not in a position to score. And he gives an opportunity to one person who's actually, I would want to call him the Deputy Commander-in-Chief, having taken over from Surafel, Dagnachu. He's controlling the proceedings. And as we speak, Fasil lead by 4 goals to 1.
The 4th goal in the 88th minute. And Guksa is on the score chart as well. They almost come into another goal here. But look at the way he positions himself, gets the return ball. He's seeing how everybody's placed. He knows where the goalkeeper is as well. Mr. Jacob Penze had to pick this one from inside the net. So, scoreline has changed again. 4-1 in favor of Fasil Kenema. We'll see whether they can change it even further, but it's beyond the reach of Jima Abajifar at the moment. The coach will be happy, Siom Kebere, for what his team has done. Abajifar will really need to organize themselves. We're playing the 90th minute. There's not going to be much of added time in this game, but we'll wait to see exactly what the timing will be given in this one. I think a maximum of 3 to 4 minutes. That's not for us to decide. So we go back into the midfield. Abajifar, even the body language, just saying this is beyond us. They're not doing anything much. They're walking on the field and ball watching. And you know, for Fasil, they could decide to just run the ball around like that and enjoy themselves. Oh, they're going to be hit on the counter-attack if they don't watch out. Mujib, he needs to take the advantage of probably getting a chance to become, to get a brace here or even a hat-trick if he wanted to. But now they're even going for the attack very casually, Gilbert. That's the other thing about knowing that you're leading here.
You're right, and that's a very good run again by Desta.
This is the earlier one.
The earlier goal, the 4th goal. And one of their fans, that is Jima Abajifar fan, doesn't really know what it's...
No, it's difficult sometimes to say, you know, when things are... Sometimes when someone brings too much to you, you know, you wonder why and you keep quiet. So too many goals have been brought to their doorstep. So they're wondering what they've done to deserve just the bulk of goals in today's game. We've seen 5 so far, and 4 of them from the Fasil Kenema side. This one will not trouble Mr. Samake Mikel, who, apart from having a holiday, almost injured himself in trying to execute an exotic Caesar's clearance that landed him awkwardly and gifted a chance to the Abajifar side to score the goal through Buzayehu Endicho. But if you compare the two, Samake has had nothing coming on his side. Penze has had everything coming to him. And you couldn't quite say it's over. Playing the 92nd minute of the game. This will go off the field of play. It's going to be a throw-in. And it's going to be for Jima Abajifar.
Sometimes, Bernard, when you're a lonely fan, at times you just feel like, okay, I should have just sat home and eaten some gunash and some anjera.
No, she doesn't like goulash. No, she likes chips instead, Gilbert. Well, where do you want to get into the minds of the fans as well? I think the coach was wondering what else he needs to do. He's already leading by 4 goals. He's thinking, you know, I could just get one consolation one. This time round, Samake Mikel is very fast off his feet to get onto that one. And starts the build-up close to him. 93rd minute, Gilbert. Sum it up for us in terms of what the game has been like.
It's done. It's done. I think Fasil have exerted what they wanted. They actually moved the ball around very well. They enjoyed possession. They had so many diagonal passes that went straight to that man on the ball, Sigmat Guksa and Mujib Kasim. They should have scored more goals, but again, they wasted numerous scoring opportunities. For Jima, they decided to sit back maybe for a tactic in the first half. It didn't work for them. They conceded 1 goal in the first half and have conceded 3 goals in the second half. They are downtrodden at this particular point in time. They're just waiting for the referee to blow the last whistle for them to go and reorganize for the next match.
Well then, any moment now, you should be able to hear the whistle of probably the best controlled match we have seen so far in the BetKing Ethiopian Premier League by Ephraim Tabele, the military officer with a management degree as well, and who's managed the the game tremendously well here. Has penalized what needed to be penalized. Has allowed the fans to enjoy the floor of the game as well. The ones who have enjoyed the most have been the Fasil Kenema fans. So Can Fasil then just, put the icing on the cake? They already did anyway, but maybe they can give it another color if they want to. They even are almost falling over themselves to try and take a shot here. Jacopense will stop them from going into an over celebration here by starting a quick build-up for Jima Abajifar. Jima will need to reorganize. They will need to re-strategize. They will need to regroup. They will need to think about their strategy. It failed in the first half, staying back, absorbing all the pressure, and it's failed in the second half as well. The referee brings it to an end. The early kickoff of the Bet-King Ethiopian Premier League, putting Jima Abajifar against Fasil Kenema, has ended in favor of Fasil Kenema. And in what style? 4 goals in total. And with the Abajifar side actually being gifted a goal by the mistakes of Mikel Samake, allowing Buzayehu Endesho to get into the score chart as well. The captain has done well for his side. He got himself yellow carded here at Bayer, but he's really led his troops well in this game. For Jacopense, he's going to need to find a way of talking to his defenders as well. They've really been left flat-footed in most of the attacks that were coming to that side. He came in to save the team from the blushes, but they ended up actually having more blushes than before. Amsalu having been the first to score, then Mujib from the help that came from the goalkeeper, putting it in the net again with Amsalu having helped him. And then Samuel, Samake making a mistake here first of all, with the goal scored by Buzayehu Endesho. And then Samuel getting a through ball again from that same man in jersey 19, Chimekit Guksa, who ultimately himself took it upon himself to get the return ball here, to put it into the net, and I think that is what should be described as the icing on the cake. No doubt about it. He should be the man of the match, Mr. Chimekit Guksa, and he should be the one who has excited the fans right up to the 90th minute from the Addis Ababa Stadium. So the final score then gives Fasil Kenema a further 3 points and 4 goals. Endesho gives Jima just 1 goal, and we'll hear what the coaches have got to say about the game altogether.
አሰልጣኝ ጳውሎስ ጨዋታው 4-1 በሆነ ውጤት በእናንተ ተሸናፊነት ተጠናቋል። እንዴት ነበር ጨዋታው? መልከታ እንዴት ነው?
እንግዲህ ብዙ ቤት ስራ እንዳለ ያሳያል። ይሄ ግድ ነው ካለውም ነባራዊ ሁኔታ ጋር እንደተመለከታችሁት ነው። ችግሮች እንዳሉ ሆነው እኛም መስራት የሚገባን የቤት ስራ መስራት እንዳለብን እያሳየን ነው። ስለዚህ በአጠቃላይ ጨዋታው ብዙም ጥሩም ብዙም መጥፎ አይደለም ለኔ ስራ እንዳለብኝ ግን ያሳውቃል።
የሊጉ 3ኛ ጨዋታ ነው። ቀጣይ ብዙ ጨዋታዎች አሉና ብሩህ ነገር ይታያል ከጅማ አባጂፋር ጋር።
እንግዲህ የሚያግዘኝ አካል ካለ ብዙ ነገር ሊታይ ይችላል። ምክንያቱም አምና እንደተመለከታችሁት በዚህ አይነት ውጥንቅጥ ውስጥ ነበር የሰራሁት። መጥፎ አልነበረም ውጤቱ። ትልልቅ ቲሞችንም እንዴት እንደምናስጥል ነበር። አምና የፕሪፓሬሽን ጊዜ ረጅም ነበር፣ አሁን አይደለም። እንግዲህ ትግል ይጠይቃል። እኔ አሁንም ቢሆን መናገር የምፈልገው አቅሜ እስከፈቀደ ድረስ እሰራለሁ።
አሰልጣኝ ጳውሎስ ጌታቸው ከልብ አመሰግናለሁ። አሰልጣኝ ስዩም 4 ጎሎችና 3 ነጥብ አሳክታችኋል። የፈለከውን ነገር በሜዳ ላይ አሳክታል ተመልክታል።
እንደ ሳምንቱ ውላችን ጥሩ ነው። ካቱም የምናደርገው የመቻኮል አጨራረስ ላይ ያለን ድክመት እነዚህ ተደማምረው ሚስ ያደርገናቸው አሉ። እንደገና ደግሞ አሁን ጥሩ ነገሩ ለማሸነፍ ያላቸው ዊኒንግ ስፕሪቱ በጣም ደስ ይላል። ይሄም እንዳለ ሆኖ አሁን መቻኮሉ አለ። ከዚህ በላይም እያደግን መሄድ መቻል አለብን። ስለዚህ ለቡድናችን ለቀጣዩ ጉዞ ደግሞ ይሄን ነጥብ ማግኘታችን በዚህ በሰፋ ጎል ማግኘታችን ራሱን የቻለ ስነ ልቦና ጥንካሬያችን ደግሞ ከፍ ያደርገዋል።
በጨዋታው ላይ ሽመክት ጉግሳ ጥሩ እንቅስቃሴ ሲያደርግ ነበር፣ ጎልም አስቆጥሯል። በአንተ እይታ የጨዋታው ኮከብ ነበር ማለት ይቻላል?
ኦፍ ኮርስ ጥሩ ነው። ከቱም በመከላከሉ ይሳተፋል፣ በማጥቃቱ ይሳተፋል። አንቲሲፔሽኑ በጣም ጥሩ ነው። ሞቲቬሽኑ ትልቅ ነው። እሱ እዚህ ሜዳ አይደለም ትሬኒንግ ላይ ከዚህ በላይ ነው የሚሄደው። ይሄ ነገር ደግሞ ጠቅሞታል። እና ይገባዋል። ከዚህ በላይ ግን መስራት መቻል አለበት። በዚህ ሊቆም አይገባም። ብዙ ተስፋ ልጆች አሉ። ጥሩ ነው ብዬ አስባለሁ።
አሰልጣኝ ሲሆን ከልብ አመሰግናለሁ።
ቴንክ ዩ።
ሽመክት በዛሬው ጨዋታ ላይ ጎል አስቆጥራል። ለጎል የሚሆኑ ኳሶችን ሰጥታል። እንዴት ነበር ሜዳ ውስጥ ባንተ እይታ እንቅስቃሴ?
ያው ጌሙ ለኛ አሪፍ ነበር በጣም ማለትም እኛ ተመሽቶን ነበር ስንጫወት የነበረው የነሱ አጫወት ለኛ ተመሽቶን ነበር በጣም።
በሁለት ጨዋታዎች አሸንፋቸዋል፣ በአንድ ተሸንፋቸዋል። የውድድር ዘመኑን ከፋሲል ጋር ምን ለማድረግ ነው የምታስበው?
ያው እንዳሰብነው አጀማመራችን ጥሩ ነበረ። መሀል ላይ ሁለተኛ ጨዋታችን ትንሽ ተበላሽቶብን ነበረ። ያንን ደግሞ በመነጋገርና ሁላችንም በመተሳሰብ አሁን ላይ ጥሩ ነገር እየሰራን ያለ ነው። ከዚህ በኋላም ላለው ነገር ጥሩ ነገር እናደርጋለን ብዬ አስባለሁ።
በቤት ኪንግ የኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ ያንተ ሁለት ወንድሞች በወላይታ ዲቻ ይጫወታሉ። 3 ቤተሰቦች አሉ። በዚህስ ምን ይሰማል?
እኔ ያው ደስተኛ ነኝ በጣም በቤተሰቦቼ በወንድሞቼ በጣም ነው የምወዳቸው። ደግነቱ ሁለቱም በጣም ጥሩ ላይ ነው ያሉት አሁን ላይ እነዛ መሆናቸው እኔ ማለትም በእኔ በኩል ምንም ያረኩላቸው ነገር የለም። ግን እኔን እያዩ በማድጋቸው በጣም ደስተኛ ነኝ። ለቤተሰቡም አብረውኝ ስላሉ ደስተኛ ነኝ በጣም።
ከልብ አመሰግናለሁ።
እኔም አመሰግናለሁ።
Well, we've heard it from the coaches, and they have expressed themselves as well. Shimegit Guksa obviously would be coming in for that man of the match performance. But let's look at the shots on target and the statistics skill, but especially on the Abajifar's side, the Jima side. They had 5 shots on target out of 7 in the total 90 minutes played.
Well, with only 1 goal on the other side, 8 shots on target with 4 goals. That's a good.
No, 20 goal attempts from Fasil.
Yeah,
20 and then 8 of them on target. Yes. So that's a very big number. They have actually outshone the Jima side. Happily, there were very minimal cards in today's game, just 6 of them on either side. So we won't even go to the corners. It says Fasil was pressing and massively pressing. In total time played, 64% of the ball possession was with the Fasil City. And for Abajifar, just 36% of that possession. So they didn't put up a very good performance, the Abajifar side. They always say, your loss is my gain in football. So then the Fasil Kenema side gained from that. We got another game that is coming up this afternoon. Walaita Dicha will be playing Walkita City. It's a question of a team in the 7th position and another one in the 9th position. And of course fighting for it to see whether or not they can move further or whether they will swap places in the Bet King Ethiopian Premier League. The log says Ethiopia Coffee is leading by 7 points and St. George is in 6. Fasil, who've just played now, have notched themselves nicely into the 3rd position also with 6 points. And they've got a goal difference of +2. That makes it better for them. If you look at where Jima Abajifar have gone to, they're close to the bottom now. They've got 1 point and a -6 goal difference. And I tell you, this is going to haunt them because they have 3 matches. Sidama have played only 1, so they have 2 at hand. And the other team has also got 1 at hand. Now, later on this afternoon, Walaita Dicha will be playing Walkita City, a team in the 7th position against a team in the 9th position, starting off at 2:45 p.m. East African time with a build-up. The game will be at exactly 3 o'clock and it's live for you on your World of Champions from the capital of Africa's diplomatic country, Ethiopia. For now, make sure you join us in the afternoon. We'll see you then when we will be live from the venue.